everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to take you through my top 5 Studio Ghibli films. These are the top 5 that I own. I will make one special mention to another one that I don't unfortunately own. I did, long story, it didn't work, had to send it back. But these are my top 5. Some of them are probably going to be obvious. They're some of the most loved Ghibli films, or the most popular, even for Western audiences. So let's go. So this isn't in any particular order. Just got them here in my lap. We'll just grab and go. So the first one I got when I was 11 for my birthday. The first Ghibli film I ever watched was Laputa, Castle in the Sky. I watched it with my dad and I fell in love with anime and especially Ghibli films. So after that I got Spirited Away for my 11th birthday. Unfortunately I don't own any of these on Blu-ray yet. I really want to grab them someday, but for now these are all on DVD, and obviously this one is quite old. I'm almost 24, so yeah, Spirited Away, I'm sure everyone knows what it's about, but quick recap. Spirited Away is a wondrous fantasy about a young girl named Chihiro who discovers a secret world of strange spirits, creatures, and sorcery. When her parents are mysteriously transformed, she must call upon the courage she never knew she had to free herself and return her family to the outside world. So not only is this a great family film, there are scary bits. Some of the Ghibli films have some strange characters in them. But Chihiro, little girl, goes on a bit of an adventure into a spirit world. She must perform kind of some tasks to get her family back, her mum and dad. So yeah, this is probably the movie that means the most to me. I love it. It's fun to watch. Like with all the ones I'm about to mention, I could probably watch them non-stop and not get sick of them. I think this is beautiful. The characters, just the scenery even within the film. And as you can probably tell by characters behind me, it's kind of taken over my life. They're everywhere. So number 1, Spirited Away. So the next 3 are probably obvious ones as well. Next up is another really popular one, and it is Howls Moving Castle. As you can see, I've swapped it over to the Japanese covers here. So Sophie, an average teenage girl working in a hat shop, finds her life thrown into turmoil when she is literally swept off her feet by a handsome but mysterious wizard named Howl. After this chance meeting, she is turned into a 90-year-old woman by the vain and conniving Witch of the Waste. Embarking on an incredible adventure to lift the curse, she finds refuge in Howl's magical moving castle, where she becomes acquainted with Markle, Howl's apprentice, and a hot-headed fire demon named Calcifer. As the true power of Howl's wizardry is revealed and his relationship with Sophie deepens, our young grey heroine finds herself fighting to protect them both from a dangerous war of sorcery that threatens their world. So, just like Spirited Away, this one means quite a lot to me. I've had it for quite a few years and I could watch it all the time. Calcifer is great. When I was younger, not gonna lie, I had a bit of a crush on Howl, as did some of my other friends, which is embarrassing, but good looking anime character. So this one's quite dark as well, still kind of in the realms of being a family film, but dark in some of the places that Howl goes to, in a similar manner that Spirited Away probably could give some kids nightmares. But this is lovely. I mean, you follow the whole film with Sophie wanting to know what's going to happen next. And some of the characters that you think you're not going to like, the baddies, you end up loving. They can be adorable. Scarecrow, what a surprise. He's awesome. So Howl's Moving Castle up there with Spirited Away. Next up is one more for, or probably aimed more for younger audiences, but definitely could captivate adult audiences. It Got Me. I love it. It's got catchy music. It's so bright, and the characters, it's just such a naive kind of story. And it's Ponyo, So, in a small town by the sea, high on a cliff, lives 5-year-old Sosuke. One morning, while playing on the rocky beach below his house, he discovers a goldfish named Ponyo. Her head stuck in a jam jar. Sosuke rescues Ponyo and keeps her in a green plastic bucket. Both Ponyo and Sosuke are fascinated by each other and promise to stay firm friends until Ponyo's father, a sorcerer who lives deep under the sea, forces her to return with him to the deep ocean depths. What follows is an amazing underwater adventure for all ages. So Ponyo is just quite an easy story. Like it says, Sosuke finds a fish, turns out to be Ponyo. No spoilers, but she turns into a little girl. And it's just such a nice kind of love story between these two children going on an adventure in this beautiful world. You can see on the back some of the underwater scenery here. It's lovely and it's just such a heartwarming story. It's just another one that I could watch, and the Ponyo song is always stuck in my head. Another thing that I love is Liam Neeson doing the voice of Ponyo's father. It's just such a cute, especially when you see all Ponyo's sisters in the ship. It's lovely. So Ponyo, number 3. Okay, so number 4 is quite obvious. Straight up, it is Tonari no Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro. So this is a favourite for not only me, but probably millions of people across the world for obvious reasons. It is absolutely adorable, and once again, another heartwarming story from Hayao Miyazaki. He's obviously one of my favourite directors. His work is amazing. If you haven't seen In the Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, it's another Ghibli film. It's a documentary on Hayao Miyazaki, the process of Ghibli, and a few of the other directors and creators. You should definitely watch that if you're into the Ghibli films. It definitely covers a lot about Totoro and also the making of The Wind Rises. But anyway, Totoro, we've got Cat Bus, Totoro, and Soot Sprite there at the end, and we've also got another Soot Sprite here. I love Totoro. I think it's one of my favourites. So in case for some reason you've never heard of Totoro, quick recap. 2 young girls, Satsuke and Mei, have moved with their family into a new home in the country while their mother recovers from illness in a nearby hospital. To their surprise, they soon discover that they share this home with some rather unusual creatures and even stranger neighbours, forest guardians that the girls dub Totoro. When trouble occurs, their new friends will help them rediscover hope. Dearly loved and critically regarded worldwide, the magical My Neighbor Totoro is a heartwarming tale of innocence and the power of belief that will delight viewers of all ages. So I love this. My younger sister has loved this for years, as does my family. It's just a family movie you can watch with everyone. The characters are adorable. You fall in love with Mei and Satsuki. It's lovely. Iconic scene there in the front. It's been adapted into lots of artworks. So while it is kind of sad and you know that the girl's mum is in hospital and Mei goes off on her own little adventure, you want to see what happens and the relationship that they build with Totoro and some of the other sprites. It's just a lovely family film. I imagine that everyone ever has seen this, and if you haven't, definitely watch it. You've got nothing to lose. It's lovely. I know that I've made Ben fall in love with the Studio Ghibli films, especially under watching Totoro first. So definitely give this one a go if you haven't. Okay, last but not least is one that's probably, I don't think it's as popular as the other 4 that I've mentioned, and definitely some of the others. But to me, for some reason, it grabbed me. I love it. It's probably one that I watch even more than the other 4. So this is from Up on Poppy Hill. I'm not entirely sure what it is about this one. I never thought it would be one of my favourites, but I grabbed it. I love the kind of love story between the young characters. The music, I'm not sure, it must just be about the time that it's set in, and also Sukiyaki, that song is amazing. It's always stuck in my head and I love listening to it now. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is about this. It just grabbed me and I really connected with the story, as lame as that sounds. But I just love this movie. So if you haven't seen it, it's set in 1963 Yokohama, and this lovely hand-drawn film centers on Umi, and Shun, and the budding romance that develops as they join forces to save their high school's ramshackle clubhouse from demolition. So this is the top grossing film, Japanese film of 2011. It captures the innocence of new love as well as the beauty of Yokohama's harbour and lush surroundings. So not only is it beautiful just in the story and the love, but also kind of where it's set in the story, what's going on, and you really want to see if the two kids can be together. Some of the songs, and there's definitely a scene that gets me every time. It makes me want to cry. It's just a lovely film. So if you haven't seen this one, I know it's not really one of the most popular ones, definitely give it a go. So that's from Up on Poppy Hill. Okay, and the one I wanted to make a special mention to is another one of my recent favourites. It's When Marnie Was There. Obviously that's one that came out, I think, last year, possibly the year before. I did own it on Blu-ray. Actually, Ben bought it for me for Christmas, but it wouldn't work on our Xbox. Took it back. They told me there was something wrong with it, but it's not. The Xbox updates automatically, so I'm not sure. But I ended up getting another 3 copies, trying those out. I think it was a bad shipment. I even got them brought in from other stores, but bottom line is it just would not work. I gave up, swapped it out for a gift card. So I'm not sure. Maybe later I'll try and buy it, maybe from another store. When Marnie Was There is just a lovely story. 2 girls building a friendship. I can't really remember a lot of it because I saw it at the cinema and I haven't seen it since. I'd love to own it, so I would love to go and buy it eventually. But if you haven't seen that, it's one of the new ones. It's just a lovely story. It's really heartwarming again. Ghibli just has a way of grabbing you and making you feel as though every movie is absolutely amazing, which they are. They're lovely, just such a good family film to watch. And When Marnie Was There is a little bit of a different story in comparison to some of the others. It's a bit more deep and complex in comparison to, say, Ponyo. But yeah, I would add it as number 6, however I just don't own it. So yeah, that's my top 5 plus 1 Ghibli films. I do own about 10 others. I don't have a full collection. They are quite expensive to buy, and especially on Blu-ray they are for some reason never on sale. They're just always a set price. Ben always wanted to get me the Hayao Miyazaki collection that came out with all the Blu-rays, but it was an insane price. So maybe if you guys want to see something, I'll do a full collection video on those. I'm hoping to get it out a Blu-ray collection soon, as we're waiting for a few to come in the mail. It's definitely not the biggest collection that we've got, but if you guys want to see that, please leave a comment below and I'll get onto that. Remember to subscribe, like this video, and I'll continue to try and get out 1 or 2 videos per week. That's it from me. Thanks guys, see you later.